The January 6th committee held its 7th public hearing today. Lawmakers examined whether former President Trump helped mobilize extremist groups to riot at the Capitol. Eyewitness News anchor Siafa Lewis is in the newsroom with what was revealed today. Siafa, good evening.
Good evening, Yuki. The committee once again relied heavily on the testimony of Republicans closest to then-President Trump to explain to the viewing public some of the events that went on in mid-December 2020, leading up to the January rally and the subsequent attack at the Capitol.
Trump had mobilized these groups around a common goal.
One of the live witnesses at the hearing was former Oath Keeper spokesperson Jason Van Taanhoven.
All I can do is thank the gods that things did not go any worse that day.
We learned that weeks prior, on December 18th, after the Electoral College count had been certified, a 6+ hour meeting was held at the White House. On one side, White House counsel Pat Cipollone and his team. On the other, Rudy Giuliani and his.
I don't think any of these people were providing the president with good advice. And so I didn't understand how they had gotten in.
The meeting was referred to by one observer as unhinged. There was cursing, insults, and a threat to fight. The Giuliani-led team wanted the federal government to seize states' voting machines, citing irregularities, all in an attempt to keep Trump in office. The Cipollone-led team vehemently fought back.
To have the federal government seize voting machines, that's a terrible idea for the country. That's not how we do things in the United States.
A short while after the meeting wrapped, just before 2 a.m., Trump tweeted out a message urging his followers to come to D.C. on January 6th, ending the tweet with, "Will be wild." It was seen as a rallying cry for right-wing extremist groups like the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys, both of whom were in contact with longtime Trump associate Roger Stone and former Trump National Security Advisor General Michael Flynn, who was on Team Rudy in that heated White House meeting.
This could have been the spark that started a new civil war, and no one would have won there.
As usual, the committee teased what's to come in the next hearing. Republican co-chair Liz Cheney said that after the last hearing, former President Trump called a witness we haven't heard from yet publicly. That witness did not answer Trump's call, but told their lawyer, who told the committee, and they've referred it to the Department of Justice. In the newsroom, Siafa Lewis, CBS 3, Eyewitness News.
Siafa, thank you, and we will have continuing coverage of the Capitol assault hearings. We'll carry all of the hearings live here on CBS 3.